Good morning, America. A stormy start to the work week, the thunder taking control. And speaking of control, Janet Jackson made her return. Severe storms slamming the south and on the move. Overnight, at least 3 reported tornadoes, plus huge hail falling in Texas. As hundreds of flights get delayed or canceled, this morning, we hear from one of the Marines who helped restrain a passenger trying to open an emergency exit door mid-flight.
All eyes on the stock market after President Trump paused his 50% tariff on the European Union, one of our biggest trading partners, as the president ramps up his fight against Harvard.
Memorial Day weekend mayhem. Los Angeles authorities trying to find dozens of people responsible for hours of chaos, vandalizing businesses and buildings, spray painting a police cruiser, disrupting the train. The private moment caught on camera between French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife, seen shoving him. What he's saying about the incident this morning.
Former police chief turned convicted killer on the run. How he managed to break out of a high-security prison.
Rescue at sea. A violent storm strikes, turning a dream trip around the world into a nightmare. How a cruise ship saved 4 people and 3 dogs from a damaged catamaran in the middle of the sea.
Supermarket savings. Hold on to your wallets. How one family saved an average of $350 a month on groceries. That's more than $4,000 a year. We break down how they took control and how you can too. And OKC taking control.
It's up, it's good.
Calling the shots overnight. Now the Thunder 1 win away from the NBA Finals, while the Knicks and Pacers get ready for Game 4. Plus, she's back bringing the rhythm. Janet Jackson accepting the Icon Award overnight.
My story, my family's story, it's truly an American story.
And rocking her first TV appearance in 7 years, bringing the crowd to the feet.
Live from Times Square, it's Tuesday. Good morning, America.
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Yes, good morning, America. What a night at the AMAs, and what a weekend. Congratulations to your daughter, Elliot.
Yeah, Elliot had a great weekend. She graduated from Brown on Sunday. There we are.
Love it.
Right
How
after
proud.
the ceremony. She was all smiles all weekend long, and we are so proud of her. It was
Rightfully so.
Yeah, she wasn't the only one. The whole family looked like this out there, George. But congratulations to Elliot.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you and Allie. And we're going to begin today with the wicked weather in parts of the country. Just as people are returning home from the long Memorial Day weekend, thousands of flights were canceled or delayed as storms caused problems in the skies. Transportation correspondent Gio Benitez is at LaGuardia Airport for us this morning. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, Michael, good morning. Yeah, it was a rough night for flights. Between Denver, Dallas, and Houston, we saw more than 3,000 delays and more than 300 cancellations. As you said, just as millions were trying to get home from that holiday. Overnight, torrential rain and pounding hail making travel treacherous in Texas. Many travelers stranded on one of the busiest travel days of the year. This as new video shows the moment lightning appears to strike a Southwest flight. Right before landing in Denver on Sunday.
We're going through a thunderstorm.
Listen to the pilot.
We got a lightning strike.
Megan Quinlan sitting in a window seat.
It's just like a big boom. And when we were looking outside of the window, it was just this big flash. I'm just like, oh my gosh, our plane got hit by lightning.
And they could feel it too.
We could feel the electricity coming on the floor of the cabin into our feet.
And on a flight from Tokyo to Houston, 2 Marines helping the crew restrain a passenger who authorities say was trying to open an emergency exit door mid-flight. One of those hero Marines now speaking out to our ABC station in Houston, KTRK.
And I grabbed him and put him down. And then an older gentleman jumped up and helped me hold him down until the stewardess got us some zip ties so we could tie him up, and then we put him in his chair.
Meanwhile, we've just looked at the numbers, and the cancellations are still piling up for Denver and Dallas for today. In fact, there are over 100 cancellations already across the country, all because of that weather, Robin.
Got to pack a lot of patience. All right. Appreciate it, Gio. Let's go to bring in Ginger now with the track and timing of the threat right now. Good morning, Jen.
Yeah, a line of those storms still attacking the Gulf Coast, so I'll be showing you that in a moment. But we've got to start with the big hail. We're talking bigger than grapefruit size that came with more than 100 severe storm reports. There are parts of Texas still, 150,000 customers without power as we start our Tuesdays. For Fredericksburg, Texas, they had some big baseball-sized hail that was smashing windows near there. The severe thunderstorm watch includes all of southern Mississippi, including Gulfport and Biloxi. You see, New Orleans is not in the watch, but just to the north and west around Lake Pontchartrain, Baton Rouge included, because this line is pushing through as we speak. It'll be through the morning hours across the southeast, and then by tonight over into South Carolina. There are 2 pockets of severe storms today. Damaging winds the main threat, but we still think this could produce some big hail. So Alabama, Georgia, and back in West Texas. We're watching for you, George.
Okay, Ginger, we know you are.
Now to the latest on the New Orleans jailbreak. 3 more fugitives have been captured. Janae Norman has the latest. Good morning, Janae.
You guys, good morning. Can you believe it's been more than a week and a half since these 10 inmates broke out of a New Orleans jail? 3 more have been picked up, but the manhunt continues for 2 fugitives, including one convicted of some of the most serious crimes.
This morning, 3 more inmates who escaped this New Orleans detention facility this month back behind bars. 2 arrested in Texas and 1 in Baton Rouge. The search continues for Antoine T. Massey and Derek Groves.
The 2 that are on the run, I'm going to guess will get captured in fairly short order, because A, they're going to run out of resources, and B, someone is going to probably turn them in.
At least 9 people have been arrested for allegedly helping them. Another inmate is accused of providing a blanket to help them climb over razor wire. And family members and friends accused of giving them rides, food, and money. With 2 men still on the run, law enforcement remains on high alert.
People still need to be cautious, because are those 2 someplace in New Orleans? They might be. I understand that the most recent captures were in Texas. That's several hours away from New Orleans.
So this has prompted growing questions about outdated infrastructure and surveillance issues for these facilities. DOJ previously warned conditions at the New Orleans Parish Prison were dangerous and unacceptable more than a decade ago. And guys, there are reports that one of those men still on the run, Massey, has actually escaped before. So lots of questions surrounding how this could happen.
Numerous times he's escaped.
Yes. Yep.
Janae, thank you. Now we have the latest on President Trump's trade war after he announced he was delaying a 50% tariff on imports from the European Union. Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, is tracking it all for us. Good morning, Mary.
Hey, Robin, good morning. Well, all eyes are certainly on the markets this morning to see how Wall Street responds to this latest turnabout in Trump's trade war. The president is now relenting. Just for now, he is delaying that threat of a 50% tariff against the European Union, one of our largest trading partners. These massive tariffs were supposed to go into effect at the end of this week on June 1st, but instead he's now postponing them until July 9th, following a phone call with the head of the European Commission. Now, both sides this morning are promising to quickly ramp up these talks, but it's still not clear exactly what President Trump is looking for. Asked on Friday if there was anything that the EU could do to avoid these tariffs, the president said, quote, "I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens." Now, what is clear right now, the administration is not happy with how these negotiations have been going in recent weeks, and they are hoping that the threat of a 50% tariff will light a fire under these talks, Robin.
And we'll see what happens there. But meanwhile, the president is continuing his fight with Harvard. We know this, Mary.
Yeah, we certainly do. This fight is only ratcheting up. Just days after a federal judge blocked the Trump administration's ban on international students at Harvard, the president is now threatening to take away $3 billion in grants. He says he wants to redirect this money to trade schools, though he hasn't explained exactly how that would work. And just now we are learning of reports that the president has now directed and instructed all federal funds at Harvard to be canceled, meant to sever the government's remaining ties with the prestigious university. It comes as the administration has continued to argue that Harvard has become a, quote, hotbed of anti-American, anti-Semitic, pro-terrorist agitators. Those are allegations Harvard, of course, strongly denies. There is another hearing set for Thursday, but Robin, in the meantime, this now means that the fate of some 7,000 international students at Harvard are hanging in the balance.
That's right. All right, Mary, thanks to you.
Okay, Robin, we're going to get the latest now on President Trump in Russia. He's shifting his rhetoric on Vladimir Putin after a new round of attacks on Ukraine, but holding off on any new actions against Russia. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott has that story. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. And this is a sharp change in tone for the president, but as of now, it comes with no consequence. Russia once again defying Trump's calls for a ceasefire, showing no signs of stopping the violence.
President Trump using some of his harshest words yet against Vladimir Putin after Russia unleashed a new round of drone strikes on Ukraine, the largest aerial bombardment since the start of the war.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all.
Russia launching 900 drones in just 3 days, killing dozens of Ukrainians and injuring more than 100 people. President Trump taking to social media writing, Putin has, quote, gone absolutely crazy, saying the push to control Ukraine will lead to the downfall of Russia. The Kremlin dismissing his words, saying Trump is a man showing signs of, quote, emotional overload. Putin has repeatedly ignored Trump's calls for a ceasefire, even after the president had what he described as an excellent 2-hour call with the Russian leader just a week ago. Ukrainian President Zelensky, who has agreed to a ceasefire, now calling for new and strong sanctions against Russia from the United States, from Europe. But the president slamming Zelensky too, saying the Ukrainian president is doing his country no favors by talking the way he does, adding, everything out of his mouth causes problems. I don't like it, and it better stop.
So the European Union has slapped new sanctions on Russia. The president says he's considering new sanctions on Russia, but he hasn't acted yet, Michael.
Yeah, we'll see if that ever happens there. Thank you so much for that, Rachel. Now to the video of French President Emmanuel Macron apparently being pushed by his wife as they arrived in Vietnam. Chief International Correspondent James Longman has more on the story. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. It's safe to say that all of us have disagreed with a partner at some point, but not all of us live in the public eye like a head of state. So this has sure got people talking.
This morning, French President Emmanuel Macron caught in a moment not meant for the cameras. After landing in Vietnam, Macron can be seen preparing to step off his plane. As the door is opened, you can see him talking to someone off screen when suddenly 2 hands reach out into frame, grip his face and shove him backward. He appears stunned, but quickly realizes he's on camera and tries to recover with a smile and wave. Moments later, he steps off the plane with his wife, First Lady Brigitte Macron. The president appears to offer his arm for support, his wife instead grabbing the railing. The video of the shove quickly going viral. The president's team initially called it a fake, but later Macron acknowledged it was real, downplaying the incident, saying he and his wife were bickering and joking. He dismissed widespread online reaction as nonsense.
Now, Macron has said he wants people to focus on his trip around Asia, where he's been striking security and trade deals, but it's really hard for a video like this not to overshadow the trip. Guys.
Yes, it is. All right, James, our thanks to you. How about the NBA playoffs? The Oklahoma City Thunder on the brink of the NBA Finals. Will Reeve is here with who shined on the court overnight and Knicks Pacers.
Yep, got it all. Good morning to everyone. So at this time of year for the NBA playoffs, teams need their best players to be their best players and for the supporting cast to nail their parts. In Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals last night, that happened for the Oklahoma City Thunder and did not happen for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So in Game 3 over the weekend, Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle for Minnesota combined for 54 points in a blowout win. Last night, they combined for just 21, Edwards making only 5 shots. Meanwhile, MVP SGA, that's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, bounced back from a tough Game 3 with a masterpiece last night. 40 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds, and a breakout playoff performance from Jalen Williams. He had 34 points of his own. There's that supporting cast nailing their part. The leading scorer for Minnesota was Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's cousin. They grew up together, and they have a great relationship, but not on the court last night. He had 23 points off the bench, and the game was super close. Down to the final possession, the Thunder ending up hanging on to win 128-126. They are now up 3-1 in the series. And, George, we know this stat cold by now. Teams up with a 3-1 lead.
95.6.
That is right. 95.6% of the time they go on to win the series.
But if you're Minnesota, you still feel like you got a chance.
That's right.
So that's what you're saying. I still got a chance.
Exactly.
How about SGA? Really looking like the MVP last night.
He's incredible. But this means tonight's Knicks game, Pacers game is huge.
Yeah.
3-1.
Yeah, that's right.
They've had these 20-point comebacks 3 times this year, but if the Pacers win, they're up 3-1, 95.6% chance to win the series. That would be their first finals in 25 years. And by the way, Tyrese Halliburton's father, John, he was banned, remember, for fighting with Giannis. He is apparently, reportedly, allowed back in the building.
Of course he is.
There you go. That's all I got.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very well. Coming up, we got the dramatic rescue at sea. 4 people and their dog stranded on a catamaran traveling around the world. Wait until you see who came to the rescue.
Plus, Eva Pilgrim is here with the urgent manhunt for a convicted killer. Hey, Eva.
Good morning, Michael. The fugitive is a former police chief who was doing time for rape and murder. He's considered armed and dangerous. I'll tell you how authorities say he escaped coming up.
Thanks, Evan. It was a chaotic scene in downtown L.A. after a Memorial Day weekend rooftop party. We'll have more on that.
Coming up, how one family saved about $350 a month on groceries. Do the math, that's about $4,000 a year. Oh, you know who that is. Janet Jackson singing All For You, one and only. You're right about that, Michael. Last night, the American Music Awards, her first TV performance in 7 years. We're going to have much more on Janet's big night. Some other huge stars on stage, Gloria Estefan, Rod Forever Young Stewart. That's just ahead.
It's always a great show. First new at 7:30. At least 73 people were arrested in the Jersey Shore town of Seaside Heights over the holiday weekend for unruly behavior. Town officials are attempting to crack down on violence this summer with a 10 p.m. boardwalk curfew for people under 18, but that rule was ignored. There were multiple fights, several people stabbed. Eventually, the police had to clear the boardwalk. Also this morning, we are remembering former Harlem Congressman Charlie Rangel, who died yesterday at the age of 94. A veteran, Rangel was first elected to Congress in 1970, served 23 terms. He was the first black chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, also a real powerhouse in the House, but he was also censored on ethics charges towards the end of his career. He retired in 2017.
Also, news for flyers. Southwest has set the price of their baggage fees. The first check bag will cost $35, and the second check bag will cost $45. At the French Open, American Madison Keys won her first round match, and Taylor Fritz was upset in his first round match. And it's another big day for the American women in Paris. Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula play right now. And good luck to you two.
Yes. We're going to turn now to that chaotic scene in downtown L.A. where police say dozens of people who gathered for an unpermitted rooftop party vandalized businesses and public transit trains. Trevor Ault is in L.A. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, George. So this started as a party with more than 1,000 people at an abandoned building not far from downtown Los Angeles, and this turned into a wild scene of disruption and vandalism. And officials say some of these vandals were recruited over social media.
This morning, Los Angeles authorities trying to find the dozens of people responsible for hours of chaos and mayhem that followed a Memorial Day weekend rooftop party.
What happened last night was egregious, completely unacceptable.
Police were alerted to the party at an abandoned building Saturday night. A crowd of more than 1,000 people spilling into the street. Partygoers soon hanging from street signs, vandalizing businesses and buildings, even tagging this police cruiser with spray paint. Authorities say vandals then disrupted the trains. About 50 people delaying service for 20 minutes, banging on windows and spray painting up and down the cars, some tagging the inside as well. No one was hurt. Officers donning riot gear, lining the streets, even firing some rubber bullets to disperse the crowd. The mayor promising aggressive action.
The way it turned out was it was just pandemonium. We cannot do this. We cannot do this in our city. And it has to be stopped. It is unacceptable under any and all circumstances. And those people that perpetrated this have to be held accountable to the full extent of the law.
And the mayor has said she's since had a briefing with the police chief about this incident because she wants to know why no arrests were made at the time. We're told investigators are reviewing surveillance footage to find the people responsible for all that vandalism, guys.
All right, Trevor, thank you for that. And now to the manhunt for a former police chief who escaped a high-security prison in Arkansas where he was serving a decades-long sentence for murder. Eva Pilgrim is tracking the latest for us. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Michael. Grant Harden had been a career cop before he got arrested for killing a water department employee in his small town. Authorities think he snuck out through a prison sally port, which is supposed to be a secure area, the place where inmates enter and leave the jail.
This morning, the urgent search for a former police chief turned escaped convict. Grant Hardin breaking out of an Arkansas prison this weekend. The 56-year-old had been locked up since 2017 for murder and rape. The Stone County Sheriff's Office releasing these photos they say show Hardin disguised in a makeshift officer's uniform before he took off through a controlled gate.
It does look like it was handmade and manufactured in a lot of ways, and so we're trying to ascertain exactly what compiled that makeshift uniform and where he was able to get those materials.
Authorities now closing roads and scouring the area, warning Hardin, who has a law enforcement background, could be armed and dangerous.
That does provide probably a little bit greater challenge than maybe some others, but at the same time, it does hopefully lend itself to the fact that he's not that familiar with the area, and we can kind of use that to our advantage.
Now, Hardin was serving 30 years for a 2017 murder, as well as 2 25-year sentences for a 1997 rape. Robin.
Hopefully they will find him soon, Eva. Thank you. Now we have a rescue at sea. 4 people and their dogs picked up by a cruise ship after their catamaran was damaged, leaving them stranded in the South Pacific. Stephanie Ramos is here with that story for us. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, everyone. This is really an incredible rescue. This couple and the crew, they were on their way to Fiji. The crew planned to travel the globe, really. When things started to go wrong, they had prepared diligently, every safety check, every inspection, but nothing could prepare them for what came next.
This morning, a dramatic rescue at sea. Dustin Leonard and Helena Franzak set out on the journey of a lifetime, traveling the globe on their catamaran, joined by 2 crew members and their 3 beloved dogs.
We've had the dream to try and sail around the world, and we got off to a bit of a bumpy start.
A violent South Pacific storm struck, demasting the vessel and leaving them stranded, battered by towering waves and lightning over 170 nautical miles from New Caledonia in the South Pacific.
Everyone was quite scared. I was like, look, everybody, calm down, listen to me. At the moment, we are safe. Yes, this is not good. This is actually quite bad.
Thank you.
After shooting a flare in the sky, hope came in the form of the Carnival Splendor. After a 5-hour diversion, Captain Eduardo Ferron was at the helm for the daring rescue, comparing it to riding an elephant through a china shop.
Approaching with such a huge vessel on a small catamaran, it's really something that you need to do it carefully, because you take a little mistake and you may sink them.
The cruise ship reached the catamaran and pulled everyone, humans and pups, to safety.
We're on our tiny boat. We saw this floating city just coming at us.
Now recovering aboard the ship, the group says the dogs became instant celebrities as they strolled the decks.
And that feeling, as soon as you get on the cruise ship, there's all the staff members there, and you just kind of felt this massive relief.
What a relief. And guys, this isn't just a story of survival and rescue, but also romance at sea. Dustin and Helena are now engaged. And guys, they joked that they nearly got married right there on the ship, on the cruise. Yeah. They made it through a lot, some challenging times, so they can make it through anything, really.
They can weather any storm.
Exactly.
Exactly. Thank you. Coming up, how we help a mother of 4 save $350 on her monthly grocery bill. We'll show you how you can cut costs too. And Sam, tell folks what we saw last night at the AMAs.
Oh, Robin, Miss Jackson. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. All for you, Forever Young, Holla Back Girl. Come on, everybody, let's do the conga. Just a few of the hits that we've got stuck in our heads this morning after last night's show-stopping performances from more than one legend. We could call this the Night of Legends. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to GMA. What a night at the American Music Awards. Performances from Rod Stewart, Gwen Stefani, Jennifer Lopez, Gloria Estefan, and of course, Janet Jackson. Sam, every time I name somebody, you hit a different move.
Because I'm so ready for Janet Jackson to come home and be everywhere right now. It was a big night for music in Vegas at the American Music Awards, lovingly known as the AMAs, with Vegas-style performances. Check them out. This morning, fans flipping for music's hottest star. Benson Boone keeping his suit on this time around. The night was a mashup of new and old music. Starting with J-Lo, not only hosting the American Music Awards, but opening with a 7-minute-long medley of the year's biggest hits. A throwback-fueled show including the Hollaback Girl herself, Gwen Stefani, turning up the energy. And Janet Jackson taking the stage for her first televised performance in 7 years. Hitting all the right notes with a medley of her biggest hits. Accepting the Icon Award, but rejecting the label itself.
I don't consider myself an icon. My family, myself, our dream was it wasn't ever to be famous. That we weren't raised like that. We always had a special love for music, dancing and singing, and fame came with the result of hard work and dedication. My story, my family's story, it's truly an American story. Let me hear you in these.
And then the legends in the spotlight. Gloria Estefan back at the AMAs after 3 decades. 5 of Rod Stewart's 8 children there to surprise him with a Lifetime Achievement Award.
I am absolutely flabbergasted. I didn't know they were here.
And the 80-year-old closing out the show with Forever Young. 80. Yes, Miss Jackson, you are a legend. We will tell you that we think you are. And the biggest winner of the night was Billie Eilish. Now, she won in all of the 7 categories that she was nominated in. Congratulations to her and all the winners and honorees. Oh, where do we start?
Yeah, what a great show. Yeah. Great to see all that musical talent on the stage. Yeah. All right, Sam, great to see you here too, my friend.
Now with the play of the day, and a great grandmother realizing her college dream. You got to share this with everybody, Sam.
This is an awesome story. I really think you're going to enjoy it. 90-year-old Rita Hernandez is still making her dreams come true. Now, she's a proud great-grandmother to 7 and earned, look at that, look at that Jazzy go, and earned an associate arts degree from Mount San Jacinto College in California. Now, she's got a wonderful legacy there. Listen to this. One of her granddaughters graduated from the same school in 2022, her great-granddaughter in 2024. Her great-grandson begins there this fall. That is something to be proud of. We also want to pay and say congratulations to the next generation GMA family accepting their degrees. Lara's son Duff walked across, I remember Duff as the tiniest little baby, right? Walked across the stage at Southern Methodist University. Lara saying on Instagram, it's the close of a chapter, but with friendships that will last a lifetime. And that's exactly true. I loved this moment. George, your daughter Elliot just officially became a Brown University grad. Take a look at these images. But it's the thing, come on, George, that is, were you emotional?
Of course I was.
Yeah, I bet you were.
You guys are trying to make George cry on national TV right now.
But you know the post I love the most? It's with you guys sitting there. Allie said that you ordered burritos. What did you do?
No, Harper. You see Harper right there. She went on a run. The brown ceremonies are fantastic. They are very long. We started, I think, at about 8 in the morning. That was probably by 2.
What?
I'm burrito run.
It was a really great day, and we were so proud of Elliot. Congratulations to her.
I love how you were looking at the photos like we were. You just looked, you were staring up and seeing that.
Michael was right. I was going to start to tear.
George, I got you. I feel you. I'm trying to save you. I got
That's wonderful. It's that time of year.
It is.
That's our play of the day.
Beautiful. Coming up, Tori Johnson is back with deals and steals that will make you look good and feel great, and our 2 favorite words, free shipping.
Yeah.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Severe storms slamming the south and on the move. Overnight, at least 3 reported tornadoes, plus huge hail falling in Texas. As hundreds of flights get delayed or canceled, Gio and Ginger tracking it all.
It's time to save you some real money.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money.
How one family reduced their yearly grocery bill by thousands. How to strategize, stocking up, subscriptions, and don't skip the coupons. Get started right now.
And Ashley Tisdale is here.
Buckle up, dude. It's about to get real.
Talking about the return of Phineas and Ferb and her daughter's new obsession with High School Musical.
It's out with the old and in with the new.
As we say, good morning, America.
Live from Times Square, it's Tuesday. Good morning, America.
It is Tuesday. Tori Johnson is back with even more deals and steals, all at least 50% off, and with another big savings. Free shipping. We love free shipping.
Yeah, we love that. And also had Dr. Darien Sutton break down a new report on cancer linked to alcohol and why men should be concerned.
Some important information there. First, look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with the severe weather, just as people are returning home from the long Memorial Day weekend. Thousands of flights canceled or delayed as storms cause problems in the skies. I want to go back to our transportation correspondent, Gio Benitez. He's at LaGuardia Airport. Hey, Gio.
Hey, George, it was just a mess, especially if you were traveling through Denver, Dallas, or Houston last night, because those airports saw about 3,000 delays, over 300 cancellations as well. Take a look at this video here, because we saw this torrential rain and just pounding hail across Texas. Many travelers were stranded on one of the busiest travel days of the year. We're also seeing new video showing the moment lightning appears to strike a Southwest flight right before landing in Denver on Sunday. It was scary, but everyone was okay there, thank goodness. And of course, those two Marines on a flight from Tokyo to Houston helping restrain a passenger who allegedly tried opening an emergency exit door mid-flight. As for the weather, it is still causing so many issues, especially if you are in Denver or Dallas or flying through those airports, because they are seeing the most delays and cancellations in the country right now, Robin.
All right. Thank you, Gio. We're going to bring back Ginger now with the track and timing, Ginger.
I imagine New Orleans will be added to that list because they're about to get some severe storms. Same line that blasted through 150,000 customers still without power in parts of Texas. They had up to grapefruit-sized hail. It was baseball-sized hail in Fredericksburg, Texas that was smashing windows. So we do anticipate big hail, but also damaging winds. Jackson down to New Orleans, Gulfport and Biloxi, Pascagoula, all included. Meridian, you're in there too. So out throughout the morning hours, you're going to be seeing this line press through. And then by the afternoon and evening, it moves all the way through South Carolina and North Carolina, and another pocket opens up with another low pressure system back to the west. So that will open up skies from Midland to Alpine and San Antonio. The damaging wind is the main threat, but you could see some big hail with this too. And this is just the beginning. We've got a very wet pattern coming for the East Coast. Guys.
All right, Ginger, we're going to turn now to GMA Health Alert. A new report suggests that alcohol-related cancer deaths in the United States have nearly doubled over the past 30 years. Men and people over 55 appear to be the most at risk. Joining us now, our medical correspondent, Dr. Darien Sutton. Doc, thank you for joining us this morning. And this study suggests even moderate alcohol use can raise cancer risk, especially for liver cancer. Yeah. What do we know?
No safe amount. That's what we do know. This essentially confirms that alcohol is, in fact, a group 1 carcinogen, which means that it's a substance that's going to cause cancer, especially if you drink a lot. Now, this report shows that the rate of death secondary to alcohol rose significantly by more than double. In 1990, just under 12,000 deaths. And Michael, that number rose to over 23,000 in 2021. And it seems to be that those who have obesity, high cholesterol, diabetes are at higher risk. But as you stated, men disproportionately represent these numbers. Approximately 70% of deaths associated with men and 15% associated with women.
Wow. So what are some of the steps that, most important steps people can take to reduce their risk?
Well, number one, understanding again that there is no safe amount of alcohol. Alcohol, unfortunately, inside of our body can cause oxidative stress, hormone disruption, and lead to the production of abnormal cells, which is the basis of cancer. So it's important to make sure that you understand what the guidelines are to minimize your risk. For men, no more than 2 drinks a day. For women, no more than 1 drink a day. Now, I understand that can be difficult, especially in social experiences. So when you're going out, making sure you're setting your limits and controlling your risks in other parts of your life, managing your weight, making sure that you're testing for high cholesterol, diabetes, and talking to your doctor about getting screened. It's so important.
And don't think 1 a day or 2 a day. I haven't drank all week, and on weekend I'm gonna make up for it.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
It doesn't compound.
Exactly. You try not to compound it over the days. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, Doc, I got you. I don't have a degree in medicine.
Paying attention.
Paying attention to you.
But you play one on TV. I like that. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Doc.
Of course.
We got a blockbuster weekend at the box office, the biggest Memorial Day weekend ever. The record-breaking ticket sales, thanks to a little blue alien named Stitch, and Tom Cruise. Janae is back with those details for us. Good morning again, Janae.
Good morning again, Robin. That is right. The live-action remake of Disney's Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning led the way at the box office over the weekend, with the total for all domestic ticket sales coming in at more than $326 million. Check it out.
3, 2, 1.
This morning, the box office is Stitch Impossible, thanks to record-smashing Memorial Day weekend at the movies.
Dogs no can talk.
Lilo and Stitch, along with Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, joining forces, surfing to over $532 million combined worldwide.
Hey, what are you doing?
The sassy Hawaiian-loving alien and the secret agent rescuing the 2025 movie season.
We have to deal with him. Should he choose to accept?
Before this weekend, box office was down 11% from last year, but now it's up 22.3%.
One ticket, please.
One movie?
Lilo and Stitch grossing $183 million domestically.
I think for Lilo and Stitch, there's a gigantic nostalgic factor figured into it.
Then you have Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
This was your calling, your destiny.
Grossing $77 million domestically, the best of its franchise.
Tom Cruise has taken it upon himself since the pandemic to really promote moviegoing.
One last time.
So this isn't the first time that Stitch and Tom Cruise faced off at the box office. They did back in 2002. Cruise's Minority Report just edged out the original animated Lilo and Stitch, but the Memorial Day weekend box office hasn't had a weekend like this in like 12 years.
Wow.
So big deal.
Good to see.
Yeah, keep heading out.
All right. Thank you, Janae. Coming up on our GMA Morning Menu, how we helped a family of 6 save real money on their grocery bill. We're talking $350 a month. We'll show you how you can find savings too.
Also ahead, Miley Cyrus reveals the medical condition behind her trademark raspy voice, why she says it makes touring like running a marathon.
Plus, Tori Johnson's here with deals and seals bargains on beauty and clothes, up to 65% off and all with free shipping. Sam, you got a special guest?
All right, so remember this from Phineas and Ferb? Do you remember it even? Candace is out! Peace!
I do.
Candace and Ashley Tisdale are back with brand new episodes. You would do it better than me, I know you would.
Maybe. Not this early, though.
We've got all about it. We'll be right back.
We are back now with our GMA cover story, our Real Money series, finding real ways for people all around the country to save on everyday expenses, including one on everyone's mind. We're talking groceries. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reporting that inflation has slowed down, but the prices of groceries are still higher than this time last year. And our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, joins us now with more on all this. This is so important.
It's so important because this is such a big part of family budgets, that grocery bill. And a family of 4 can expect to spend anywhere from $567 to almost $1,300 a month on groceries, according to the USDA. And now with tariffs, those prices could go up even more. We spoke to Kelly Lohr from New Jersey and asked us to help cut her family's bill. Take a look.
My husband and I have 4 daughters. So our grocery bill per month is over $1,500, and we are looking for some ways to cut the cost on that budget if you guys could help.
Now, we know that you're fantastic. You also enlisted the help of some experts. So what did you be able to find?
Yes, and Robin, we really wanted to do a deep dive into this. So we spoke to Joni Dimmer. She's one of the founders of the Crazy Coupon Lady, and she did a deep dive into Kelly's monthly receipts, and she found a couple of easy ways for she and her family to save. The first is to cut their delivery subscription. Kelly was paying $60 plus in delivery fees and then tips to a well-known service That's a lot on its own, but remember, these services, they also can mark up the price of the products. So for example, we found a 4-pound bag of apples in the store for $8.89, but you go look at the app, the delivery service app, the same bag of apples was $9.99, so that's more than $1 more. And if you don't use the delivery subscription service, and in this case, Kelly not using it, it can save her family roughly $221 a month, not just because of those, again, it's not just the fees, it's not just the tips, it's also the markups inside of the app.
The product.
Yep.
Wow, that's a lot of money. Well, just stocking up, would that help you with savings?
Yes. But there's sort of a clause here. You have to be strategic about it and timely about it because, you know, you can stock up on something and not use all of it, and then you're actually wasting money here. Kelly's family buys a lot of things on repeat, and that's where they should buy in bulk. When they go on sale, which could save them roughly 20% more on their bill, according to our experts. So, for example, instead of buying a single box of Cheerios week to week at ShopRite, a sale could save them up to 50% on that box. You just save it for the future. The secret is buying enough to last you about 8 weeks, giving you time to wait until the next price drop. That could save Kelly's family around $75 a month. And of course, and by the way, I just want to call that out, 8 weeks. So 8 weeks, when you see something on sale on the store shelf, you know you've got 8 weeks until the next time it goes on sale. I always wonder about that because it's like, do you buy it today or is it going to be on sale next week? It's usually about 8 weeks, which I think is really helpful information. Also, of course, we got to talk about what our expert, the crazy coupon lady, knows best: coupons. Joni says that using your grocery store's app can unlock a ton of coupons right in the palm of your hand. And if you know your family loves specific brands, you can reach out on social media or email, and they will often send you coupons directly.
So what happened when you added up all the savings?
So big savings. They are saving themselves a pretty penny. As a reminder, they were spending over $1,500 a month on groceries. Take a look at what happened when our expert Kelly gave them the grand total.
There's a lot of things that you're doing correctly and you're doing better than most, but there's still a lot of savings that we can find you. So with 3 tips, we actually think that you can lower your expense by $350 a month or $4,200 a year.
Wow. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. I mean, 4 kids are not cheap. Everyone is in activities. And honestly, some me time would be nice as well.
And, you know, maybe she could use that $4,200 a year. That could be some me time on vacation, or take the 4 kids along with you.
Day.
A spa day.
Leave the kids at home.
Yep, exactly. So I'm really thankful we're doing this because people are stretched. People are really stretched right now, and they're looking for ways to save, and we appreciate the crazy coupon lady for helping us out with this family. And hopefully, Kelly, you report back and let us know how it's going.
That's significant savings, not just savings. Significant.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
It is.
All right. Thank you for that.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
You helped a lot of people with that, Rebecca. Thank you. We're going to turn now to Miley Cyrus. Right before her highly anticipated new album release, the singer revealing the reason behind her signature raspy voice. Eva Pilgrim is back with the story. Eva, the Grammy winner, says it's actually a blessing.
Yeah, Michael, her signature sound, the result of a medical issue and something she says she wouldn't change. Right now, she's trying to manage it all, giving her voice adequate rest, while also doing what she loves.
This morning, Miley Cyrus revealing her distinctive raspy voice is due to a rare medical condition.
I had the Reiki's edema, which is something that is called, it's abuse of the vocal cords.
In an interview with Zane Lowe for Apple Music to promote her upcoming album, Something Beautiful, Cyrus saying the vocal cord issue likely came from long days on set during Hannah Montana and a busy touring schedule in her younger years.
I have this very large, polyp on my vocal cord, which is giving me a lot of the tone and the texture that has made me who I am, but it's extremely difficult to perform with because it's like running a marathon with ankle weights on.
Reiki's edema is a condition caused by swelling in a part of the vocal cords. Symptoms include hoarseness or a deepened voice. It can result in non-cancerous growths or polyps, which can further impact the voice.
Rankies and polyp and other vocal injuries will almost always happen in vocal athletes, singers. These performers have to sing night after night after night. And so what happens is they have to work through inflammation and work through discomfort and through early injury, which therefore makes more significant injury all the more likely.
Despite the challenges, Cyrus says she views her condition as a blessing. She is choosing not to have surgery.
I'm not willing to sever it because the chance of waking up from a surgery and not sounding like myself is a probability.
And Miley says that her new album, Something Beautiful, is a celebration of her journey, struggles, and her voice, just as it is. That new album is out this Friday, guys.
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you for that, Eva.
Let's go to pop news with Sam.
All right, let's do it. And let's get loud. We begin this morning with some music news, and J-Lo is ready to dance the night away. Well, you already saw that she did last night at the American Music Awards, pulling double duty as host and performer. She opened up the night with a show-stopping 7-minute medley on stage in Vegas, and it seems like maybe that was just a rehearsal for what you can expect to see later this year, maybe. The singer announcing, yes, she is returning to the bright lights in the desert for a residency called Up All Night Live. It's at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace, and the show kicks off December 30th, and she even has a New Year's Eve show. Yes, you will be staying up all night with J-Lo. Pre-sales start Wednesday, June 4th, and the general sales start Friday, June 6th.
Kind of had a feeling.
Yeah, that maybe there was something. Yeah. It looked very Vegas last night, and you're right, the announcement came today. All right, in movie news, freshly off a wildly successful holiday weekend at the box office, where Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning became the top-earning movie of the franchise. Now, here's an update. Tom Cruise may soon be heading back to the screen as another fan favorite character. Do you remember this?
Oh, man.
Les Grossman from Tropic Thunder. The Final Reckoning. Now, the Final Reckoning director, Christopher McQuarrie, is giving fans more details about what this comedic role might entail. McQuarrie appearing on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast to talk about, which is the story of my life, to talk about new movie based on Cruise's scene-stealing character. Check this out.
We're talking about it, man. We're having very serious conversations about it and how best to do it. It ultimately comes down to what that character is. Just riffing with Tom, playing to Les Grossman at the table is just, it was one of the real joys of making this movie.
From cameo appearance to a whole movie about it, can you imagine who this guy might be? That movie was laugh out loud funny. And in more Cruise news, McQuarrie also revealing on the podcast that the story for Top Gun 3, everybody, is, quote, already in the bag. Wow. No word about when production.
Good.
Yes.
Hey,
if you're as busy as Tom Cruise, good for you. All right, we finally this morning have done all the big time graduations, so let's get small, if we will. Check out 5-year-old Collins at her preschool graduation in Nolensville, Tennessee. She just wants to live her dreams.
Collins Grimm.
I grow up, I want to be a wicked witch.
She wants to be a wicked witch, and why not? Every one of the little children went up to say what they wanted to be as they graduated. So Kelsey's mom revealed later that her daughter is obsessed with the movie Wicked, posting on the video on her Instagram, writing, all the other kids said doctors, teachers, zookeepers. Dream big, baby girl. One person writing in the comments, save this for when she plays Elphaba on Broadway. But yes, I mean, it's great that you can play a wicked witch, but you could also be one in real life.
Oh, apparently so.
Why not?
I'm sure mom was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Follow your own path.
That's pop news.
Thank you, Sam.
We're going to get this place together.
Oh.
And don't you dare try to help because you'll just slow us down.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I mean, I've been such a wreck.
Lucky for you, we got here early.
Luck? I don't know her. I knew that Mel and Barb would show up at 7. In fact, I planned for it. I have so perfectly planned for everything that in 3 seconds, watch this, 3, 2, 1.
Janine, do you have any sponges? This kitchen is a mess. Are these your only spices? Salt, pepper, Lowry's, and tahini? And why are they in separate cabinets?
Perfection.
That was
I
great.
love Binta Brunson. So funny right there from Abbott Elementary. She's going to be here later this week. Also, someone else we love, Shonda Rhimes. That's coming up on Thursday. Hey, Robin.
All right, guys. Right now, it is time for Deals and Steals. And this morning, Tori is here with savings up to 65% off and all with free shipping.
I mean, that's a really
big savings here.
At least 50% off everything plus free shipping.
And these products are great.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So we're starting with, you and I were saying, a personal favorite, NYDJ.
Woo.
They make really flattering, phenomenal jeans. So no matter your body type, they make a style that is just like curve enhancing, just super flattering, and it's because of their Lift Up technology. And whatever magic they work into those, they look good on every body. We've got skinny boot cut girlfriend straight. This one next to you is
very
the Maryland
popular.
Straight. For 2 decades, it has been their #1 seller, more than 20 million pairs sold. We also have it in the petite, which is a big request that we get. So 20 years, 20 million pairs, like you can't go wrong with that. And you guys certainly can't go wrong because an enormous assortment today, 50% off plus free shipping.
Free shipping, cannot beat that.
Okay, something else you can't beat, Murad. This is all science-backed skincare. Obviously, we have a huge assortment. 2 of my personal favorites, although I have a lot of personal favorites right here. These little tubes right here. This one right here is a targeted wrinkle corrector. And what that means is that there's an immediate benefit, which is this hyaluronic acid that kind of floods even those deep set wrinkles, that helps to plump and smooth, and then it works cumulatively to help to improve the look of fine lines and wrinkles. And then the blue one right here, this targeted pore corrector, that's one that if you have large pores that prevents your makeup from being smooth or you just don't like them, that's one that's going to help to immediately blur so you get instant gratification, and then cumulatively it works. And I swear with that one, even when I'm looking in my magnifying mirror, I don't see my pores.
Really?
So that's one. Both of those are fabulous, as well as Orange Collection, SPF 50. This is a really great one. Retinol Collection. I mean, they've really given us lots of the best sellers today. All 50% off.
I love the application. The applicators right there. Makes it
really
very
great.
easy.
Yes.
Okay.
I like that you're hanging on to those. That's
You saw that.
You know the good stuff. Yeah. You know the good stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so this is Glow Science, and they've come out with a new technology to help whiten faster. So specifically, this is the little device that you would use. It uses a little bit of heat plus the blue light technology, and then when you use it with their these little gel vials right here, it's going to help to bring whiter, brighter shades. But what is key with this, and we've been talking about it in the studio this morning, is consistency. 3 8-minute treatments, and in 5 days, you can see those shades lighter. But
in 5 days?
Yes, but if you only do it once a day, if you only do it twice a day, if you don't do the 8 minutes, like, you're not gonna see the results that they promise. So you've really gotta follow the directions on this. The directions aren't that difficult. It's timed for you. And then you could also use these vials individually if you want. If you don't want the system, they can apply directly onto your teeth as well for whiter, brighter. But again, when you do the system, that's where you get the best results. No matter what you choose, all 50% off and free shipping.
And free shipping.
Yes. Okay, this is a really terrific neck massager, and what I like is the small size. See how teeny that little baby is? So it could go right around neck, back, shoulders. You could use this while you're working, while you're cooking, while you are walking, sitting, watching television, whatever it is, because it's so compact and easy to use. It also has 2 different modes, so you can either use it on kind of a steady flow, or there's like a pulsing mode that you can use it on. There's heat, there's different levels of intensity. If you just want a compact little one that's gonna like do the magic, because some days are really tense, this one's for you. 65% off plus free shipping.
And it's very quiet.
It's very quiet. It's very quiet. That's key. So when you're working and you're on those Zooms and you don't want people to know what you're up to, okay, let's do the honors here. Ready to grab this?
My fave.
You grab this little corner. This is Fresca. These are really beautiful Turkish tea towel. So the patterns are fabulous. It's also reversible, but look at how big. It's like a big, beautiful size. It is sand resistant. It's quick drying. It's compact, which I also love. So if you see just like this little size right here, doesn't take up a lot of bulk in your beach bag. But what's great is not only can you use it at the beach, but sarong, throw, picnic blanket, cool breeze in Key West evenings wrapped around your shoulders. They got you covered. All slashed in half and free shipping.
All right.
And then finally,
bring it on home.
One of my favorites. You want to do the honors?
Sure.
So every household, every office needs this. You go scroll over any text that you want to conceal. So an address, a shipping label, a pill bottle, a bank statement, a credit card statement, anything that you don't want prying eyes to get to. It's just rolls right over that text and conceals your private information from identity thieves. They've put together really great sets for us. You get an entire bundle for $20 and free shipping.
I know, you don't need that big bulky shredder. You can just do it like this.
No bulky shredder.
All right, thank you, Tori. And we partner with these companies on these deals. You can get them on our website, goodmorningamerica.com. And if you miss Monday's deals and steals, you can still shop those, 18 products?
18 brands. 50% off and free shipping. They were really good, so get on them.
We're giving them another chance. I see her over there. Ashley Tisdale is here in our little old studio. We're going to talk to her when we come back. Cannot wait. Thanks, Tori. That's good. Good stuff. The sweet High
School Musical movies and Phineas and Ferb, which is back next week for the first time in a decade. Welcome back to GMA.
Thank you guys.
We've all been reminiscing for my girls. It was a High School Musical. They grew up on that. Phineas and Ferb coming back for the first time in 10 years. But you've been doing Candace for almost 20 years.
Yeah, a really long time.
Yeah, and you have a pretty unique way of approaching her character.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream job. Obviously, it's like in the recording studio, so I get to wear sweats and go in there. She's pretty intense, but I don't read my scripts before I go in.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the thinking behind that?
I think it's like, I don't know. I
want it to be fresh.
I'm prepared. I do want it to be fresh, but when I first started playing her, I was, on a TV show, I was on a movie, and I was doing, I was in concert. I was recording albums. So I really had very little time to ever prepare for her, but I think there is something that the reactions I get from Dan and Swampy, the creators, when I do it, just it's so easy and it's just fun for me, and she's really limitless. So, but for a long time I thought they did not know that, and they were like, we did know. But they were like, it worked so great that we didn't have you do it any other way.
But this is the first time that you're recording as a mom.
I
You're
know.
a mommy now.
Not only as a mom, I was pregnant, recording this season.
And how was that?
That was really hard. It was hard because I was just like, I hope this baby in here does not think I'm crazy. I was like, I'm going to play a character. I'm going to be screaming a lot. But yeah, I was constantly sick too because my 4-year-old brings home everything. So it's just like, she's a lot more stuffy this season.
Well, let's take a look at a clip. This is only in character for the kids out there. Let's go.
Phineas and Ferb, I am busting your biscuits. Buckle up, dude. It's about to get real. I follow the rules, obeying all of the signs. I'm not incurring any traffic fines. I'm only passing on a dotted white line. I'm not distracted by the traffic noise.
Timeless.
I mean, the memories of this, I'm smiling because it's just such great memories with my kids with this. But you took your daughter Jupiter to the studio with you.
I did.
Did she get the whole animation mom voice thing yet?
She is slowly trying to figure it out, I think. She gets what I do to some degree. She's
gorgeous. Look at that.
Yeah.
Next
so
generation.
Funny. She was really funny though. She said recently, she was like, Mom, why does Mama, which is my mom, look so different on the show? And I was like, well, I mean, it's not Mama, it's an actor playing the character. And then I was like, does she think I look like Candace? I was like, let's talk about this.
But but she can hear your voice and see. Now, you've done so many really iconic things that we all remember. High School Musical. So she's also a fan, I guess, of High School Musical, or she soon will be?
She has become a fan. My niece played me in the play for her school, so when she saw my niece do it, then she had to watch the movies, and she's become a little obsessed with it, for sure.
That's funny.
She's
Is it
mini
doing the
Sharpay.
dance?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh,
She
Sharpay.
loves to say she's Sharpay's baby to people.
Oh, so she knows. She's fully knows.
She's like really started to realize who I am, and she's obsessed with me.
It happens.
Who is it? So as she grows up, and I mean, you know the good side and you've seen the tough side of the industry that you grew up in. Would you let them go into the biz?
I mean, honestly, I just want her to have like a very normal childhood. Me and my husband, obviously, like my husband's in music as well. She's gonna do something, I think, at some capacity, but like when she's older, just like let her have a childhood. You know, I've been working since I was 3, so I just feel like it's very rare to kind of be this long in this business, and I just want her to be a kid.
But you've navigated it so well.
Yeah.
Thank you so
really
much.
Have.
Thanks.
Yeah. You could do a master class on how to do it.
And you can do a comedy too.
Yeah, you're sure. Especially off camera.
Great to have you back.
Thank you so much.
The new season of Phineas and Ferb debuts June 5th on the Disney Channel, streams the next day on Disney+.
Back now with 3 of the stars of the new comedy series Adult. The New York Times calling it Friends for a New Generation. That is a big compliment. It follows the lives of a group of 20-somethings living together in Queens, New York. And we're joined now by Owen Thiel, Lucy Fry, and Amita Rao. Good morning, you 3. Good morning. I want to say congrats on the show.
Thank you.
And we saw this video, Owen, of you calling the cast because there was a big, big billboard of adults on the side of a building.
Yeah, it was insane.
So how did it feel for you 3 to like have these posters all around town?
It's crazy. It's I mean, crazy. I actually got in a cab the other day that had the adults poster on the roof of it. And I was with one of the show creators, Ben Cronengold, and we got in the car and we were like, hey, this is gonna be a pretty big deal for you, but that's me on the roof. And he didn't care. So it felt like a really like New York moment. Well, that's humbling. Not Yeah, care. it's humbling.
Yeah, that's a
really
welcome to New York moment.
Yeah.
So have you had any instances where you're out and about in the streets and anyone has come and say, hey?
No, I feel like my face in a lot of the posters like.
Yeah.
And so no, I feel like you have to catch me in a moment to really recognize me off the poster.
I'm only profiling the poster,
Yeah.
so maybe if somebody
Someone
catches
tell
me
me
from
like
the
that.
left
Yeah,
side.
or like from above,
Yeah.
and you're like looking down.
Well, get used to this anonymity now. Because same thing with the cast of Friends. The next thing you know, you can't go anywhere. So enjoy it. But this show, it's about a group of friends who are like navigating life together. And Amita, how do you all get to like get to know each other offset?
Yeah, so actually FX did this thing where like similar to The Bear, how they like paid for them to go to culinary school to prepare for the role, they paid for us to go party in Toronto together. So it was really awesome. And we got to go build like camaraderie as a friend group. And we just like spent every single night together.
Yeah,
And
on one of the first nights, Amita said that we all had to go around and tell each other a secret that we'd never told anyone.
Whoa.
Yes. Yeah, so if you want to
Amita, no,
now.
on live television, she's about to tell my
there
biggest
was a
secret.
lot of vehicular manslaughter.
No, what?
Look it up. Look it up. Oh, no.
Lucy, I love because I was about to ask. You're good at this. You can take my job.
It was a lot of martinis and Mitski. It was great.
They didn't do anything for us here. They just threw us in the fire together and said, figure it out, like each other.
See?
And I love them, by the way. I just wanted to be known. But we have a clip of you 3 at work. Let's check it out.
Okay. You can't just soul bond with every person you meet. It's not normal.
Why not?
Because some people stab people.
Yeah. Okay, you guys are being dramatic. It's not like it's an ongoing conversation. He's not following up with me. What?
He just liked it. What do you call that?
Okay, so what? He hearted a message.
And now he's typing.
What? He's typing.
So, Owen, what does go on in the group, in the cast group chats?
In the group chat, we talk a lot in the group chat. I will put my phone down for 1 minute and pick it up, and there will be 500 messages. It's scary.
Yeah.
My other friends are very upset with me because I can only be active in one group chat, and I've chosen adults to talk to. So I'm sorry to my other friends. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, they should understand.
They should understand.
You got your new friends here, right?
Exactly.
You're bonding. You're still bonding.
And I think it's like PR answer to be like, we're actually family, but to be honest, we are actually family. So.
And when you're filming, you spend a lot of time together. I mean, you really do.
So much happier.
So we want to play a little game with you to see how
God.
well you really know each other.
Oh,
yeah.
I love
We
games
fail
like
the
this.
game.
All right, you can never fail this game. So I'm going to ask the question, point to the person, even if it's yourself, that you think this applies to.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Most likely to cook dinner for the group.
She did it.
What's your dish?
Well, I was trying to do a roast chicken in the spirit of the show, which will be revealed when the show comes out. But I did a lot of roast chicken.
And
and soup.
And an amazing cheesy cauliflower.
Yes,
yeah.
delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Okay. Most likely to overshare information about a date.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you know anything about me, this interview. Well, actually, maybe not.
I thought we were going to get one of those confessions about something you've
That's
never
what it was
told
about to
somebody.
be, so you're actually lucky it wasn't.
All right, I got one more for you.
Would have been bleeped.
Okay. I didn't write this one, but I'm going to read it. Most likely to forget to replace the toilet paper.
I feel like none of us, but I feel like Malik.
Or other
He's
cast
not
member.
here and he can't defend himself, so I'm going to say Malik.
Throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
He's not here. He can't defend himself. So what was your favorite part about shooting this? Just like meeting each other. What was the best part of this experience so far?
I think like working with so many of our comedic idols and working with like actors who I think we all felt like were better than ourselves. Like that's like such a privilege.
We were constantly bettering ourselves. These people are such amazing actors and actresses, and we all felt very lucky every day.
Yeah, and to be working on material that is so good feels so rare these days.
Yes,
And
yes.
the writers just did an incredible job of like carving out a season that is funny and heartfelt and just really beautiful.
Yeah.
So.
And like so in line with like what we find funny ourselves, like that is so awesome to be able to contribute to.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm not getting in a cab in New York City unless you three are on the top of
Thank God.
Talking about adults, baby. That's what we're
Thank
talking
you.
about.
And then tell the cab driver that it's us. He won't care.
I'm saying, I met these three.
Yeah.
You're going
And
to
he'll
see
be like,
them.
I had Lilo in the backseat last week.
But I'll tell you right now, there is so much anticipation for this. Cannot wait for it to hit. And it's adults. It premieres tomorrow. Tomorrow on FX with all episodes streaming the next day on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus. So you guys make sure you check it out. Look at that. I love it.
So
Oh,
good to
yeah.
see Karate Kid again.
I know.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Have a great day.
Wax on, wax off.